Despite Rocket League being hard to master, it can be watched and understood by people who have not even played a single video game before. No rules, just a 3 per side team and one objective, to score more goals than your opponent. Here is one of the most exciting moments in Rocket League history. With the ball still airborne on 0 seconds, NRG, shown in blue, must score to tie the game and put it to overtime.
And he won't let up now! 4 seconds left!
NRG need this immediately. They've got the kick off in their favour. Kano tries to clear. It is almost there. It just has to hit the floor. Violet Panda puts it a long way. And it's almost there. Justin keeps it alive. Teleports it there. Bounces
into the corner.
NRG still around. Justin is there for the shot.
Jonathan! Jonathan!
This is Rocket League!
To understand how we got to this stage, we have to go back to where it all started, with Rocket League's predecessor game called Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars, dubbed SAP Cars for short, which was first released on October of 2008 on the PlayStation 3 console. Whilst this game did not have an esports like its successor, most players who competed in the first Rocket League Championship Series in 2015 came from previously playing this game, having learnt the basic mechanics needed to play the game. Whilst the same objective of SAP Battle Cars stayed the same, being to score more goals than your opponent, a lot of changes were made to Rocket League upon its first release on the 7th of July 2015. Not only had the game undergone a lot of work graphically, but also the game's physics, such as gravity, weight and speed, was changed to make the game feel a lot smoother for the players. One month after Rocket League's release, Kronovi, a former Battle Cars player, was widely known as the best player in Rocket League due to his skill in the new game. During the first RLCS the next year, everyone watched as he was able to hit the ball consistently in the air using the game's mechanic of boost towards his opponent's goal, who was unable to leave the ground as efficiently at this time, apart from one player. Kuxa was known as a close competitor to Kronovi, as he was also skilled with the game's mechanics after also previously playing SAP Battle Cars. The two players were seen as giants from either region, North America and Europe, only been able to go up against each other at LAN events where they can play each other on a level playing field, where there are no connectivity issues between the two regions. The two players had a rivalry that lasted 2 seasons until other players and teams started to improve, pushing Kronovi and Kuxa out of the spotlight. This started a chain of events where players were constantly trying to find the edge over their opponents by discovering new metas to be the best team in the world. In Season 2, Psyonix, the creators of Rocket League, introduced their only new mechanic into the game since its release. However, this was an accident, as they initially intended it to be a bug fix where the player would lose their second flip after falling off a surface such as the wall or ceiling. Shortly after the update, people then discovered that in order to gain an additional flip mid-air, all 4 wheels must touch any surface, including the ball. The newly dubbed flip reset quickly became the new normal, as most, if not all, top professional players learned this new mechanic and started using it in most scenarios, as this was very hard to defend against. However, other teams began working out the best ways to defend against this by driving up the back wall and waiting for the flip reset to be used, in order to save an incoming shot. Season 3 of RLCS saw a lot of new talent enter Rocket League after teams signed new and upcoming players in order to find a meta that beat their opponents. Season 3 also saw Oceania's first teams enter the Rocket League scene in the likes of Alpha Sydney Gaming and Just a Minute Gaming, with the expansion of RLCS to open the game up to more players and viewers. The start of a show came in the form of a substitute named Turbo Pulsar, who stepped in when Maestro could not compete in the LAN event in Los Angeles as the 3rd member of Northern Gaming. Turbo stole the spotlight with his unique, slow, methodical playstyle rather than the mechanical playstyle his competitors were using at the time. He ended up winning RLCS Season 3 with Northern Gaming and was on the radar for multiple teams the following season after the team was bought out by an organisation. After Turbo won another championship in Season 4 with Galeforce Esports, most of Europe learned to be slower and more methodical by passing to each other, like Galeforce had done in order to compete against the new meta. This caused there to be a playstyle divide between Europe and North America, which is still visible today in Season 10. RLCS Season 5 was the start of the popularity boom for Rocket League Esports, as the funding which went into the series increased due to Psyonix, the creators of Rocket League, operating the esports themselves instead of the live streaming platform Twitch.
Thank you for joining us for our 5th World Championship of the RLCS. We're going to be going all 3 days. We're going to be crowning a champion on Sunday.
Due to the funding increase, Psyonix was able to host Rocket League Championships at better venues and have players go face to face on a stage in front of an ever-growing audience. Not only has the audience grown from the first season of RLCS, but also the number of sponsors as they see potential in this fast-growing esports. HyperX not only sponsor the Rocket League Championship Series, but also they provide the peripherals such as keyboard, mice and headset to the teams as they play on the big stage. Season 5 was also the start of a new era as young talented players like Justin entered Rocket League, where he made one of the best goals in Rocket League, which was shown at the start of this video. NRG took the opportunity in the 16-year-old as he was performing well above the other players around him in the league below RLRS. Sadly, they didn't win the season with Justin as Turbo's new team, Dignitas, won in overtime, but the prodigy was only just getting started and would bounce back in the seasons to come. Moving forward a season, Season 7 introduced the 4th region to the Rocket League Championship Series. The appearance of the top 2 teams in South America, Low-Key Esports and INTZ Esports, was hugely requested by the Rocket League community, so Psyonix listened to the audience and entered them into the 7th season. Season 8 took part in the second part of 2019 in Spain as Epic Games acquired Psyonix, who extended RLCS from 10 teams to 12. Not only this, but also, the first ever Europe to North America transfer occurred in the likes of Turbo Pulsar, who made the switch from Europe to NRG after poor performances whilst on Dignitas the previous season. He ended up winning Season 8 with the American team, which consisted of Justin, Garrett and himself. Not only did he bring his skill to the team, he also brought the knowledge of the Europe playstyle with more passing, which allowed them to win the season. Since Season 9 was cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Season 10 was set up to be the biggest season yet, with 3 splits, which is being played out over a year period. Since no LAN events have been able to go ahead, the season has been streamed over Twitch, with over 100,000 people watching each day the RLCS season is being streamed, with an all-time high of 200,000. The reason why the games are more entertaining to watch today than in previous seasons is due to the professional players constantly evolving their playstyles and speed to keep up and ahead of their opponents. Rocket League's prize pool is comparable to some of the top esports as shown on the Esports Observer's top 10 list from January the 1st to June the 30th in 2020. Whilst COVID had a negative effect on this, Rocket League's prize pool is impressive to say that it has only been running half the amount of time titles like Counter-Strike's esports has been running since 2011. Not only this, but Rocket League has also been increasing the prize pool over the years, an impressive amount as shown on this graph provided by Liquipedia, which hasn't been updated since mid-2020. Teams have won an impressive amount of money from their success, and recently we saw NRG be the first team to reach $1 million in total. Rocket League also has a staggering viewer base with over 2.4 million total views as of November 2019, just before COVID-19 took effect. However, despite the current pandemic, Rocket League is still pushing forward and climbing to quickly become one of the best esports in the world.